Hey guys, and welcome to the Curro Create Monologue Masterclass. I'm Paul Toit.
And I'm Joshua Toit.
And today we're looking at one of the most important aspects of doing a monologue, choosing the work in the first place. You know, it doesn't matter how good your performance is, if the piece doesn't work, it doesn't work for you. So for the purposes of this, Curro Create have sent you a piece that we will be looking at. Now obviously, you know, parents and kids at home, you guys are going to be choosing your own piece, but just to discuss things to look at when choosing a work, Curro have given us a piece to look at. So, what is it?
I have received a piece called Monster by Jose Cruz Gonzalez.
Right, so first way to find out if it works for you is give it a read.
Okay. Monster. I dreamed of being rich, important, and popular. I got the first two. Everything I learned in school. My hair going to one side. My mom always prepared right away. You see, it takes time to transform. He was married with 3 kids and had a mortgage. I saw him cry. Monsters aren't all extinct. We're still roaming the earth.
Dun 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 dun. So, first question I have to you. Do you like it?
Yes, I get the philosophical meaning behind it. And I think this is... Yeah, I like the way it's written. I think it's a really nice piece.
Good. Yeah. Do you think the piece is relevant to you?
I do, because I was also bullied for a part of my life. So I can relate to the parts where he is trying to say that he was bullied and now from bullying he has turned into a bully.
The bullied becomes the bullier. And that's great. You know, you must relate to the piece. The judges need to see you emotionally engage with the work so that you can emotionally engage with them as an audience. Then the next question to ask is, can you see yourself playing the character delivering the piece? Now obviously these are the words of an adult. I mean, he's left school, he's become a professional company buyer, businessman dude, and goes in and does this thing. He has his revenge. But now the interesting thing here is there's a stage direction. Monster, a teen boy, stands carrying a briefcase. So clearly, because the work is relevant to children and the effect that bullying has on children, he wants it played, the playwright wants it played by a child. Yeah. However, you are wearing the clothes of an adult to sort of signify that, you know, time has passed and you see the child within the adult. Then, very importantly, you've got a time limit.
This seems fine to me.
Seems a little bit long to me.
Yeah, it seems around about 3 minutes. Yeah, plus minus 3 minutes. But I don't think we need a.
We might have to cut a line or two here or there. It's very important that you don't go over the 3 minutes. Now, obviously, you know, don't make it too short. Always leave your audience wanting more, but you don't go and shortchange yourself and do only 1 minute's worth of work.
What would you say the good time limit is if you're looking for good?
The time limits are in the rules, and your age group I know has a 3 minute time limit. So you just make sure you don't go over. You will be penalized. Then, looking at the piece, does it stand alone?
I think so. It's pretty like self-introductory in the beginning. It explains.
Yeah, you don't have to set any context or explain anything.
Yeah, in the beginning here, it says, I dreamed of being rich, important, and popular, and how everything in him, and like he got bullied and all the stuff in his childhood. Then it moves on, and it's like what the effects were and what it's done to his life. and then at the end it concludes saying how he's felt and where he is.
So it's got a nice beginning, middle, and end without you having to give an introduction of sorts or some sort of contextualizing chat
And
at the beginning.
I like the end, which is monsters aren't extinct, we're still roaming the earth, because that still kind of leaves the audience at the edge of their seat.
It's nice, it's punchy, it's got a nice button to it. And while we're on the subject of this last line, we've got a stage direction there. What does he do?
I hold up a plastic Godzilla toy.
So that's something to consider. When you choose your monologue, you will need props. You have to look at your costuming as well. Costuming is quite clearly indicated here. It is a child, but he is carrying a briefcase and he's wearing the clothes of an adult. So we see the child within the adult. We see the adult that the child who was bullied became.
Later on, I also open the briefcase, and I think that's where I get the Godzilla toy from. So, yeah, I think the Godzilla toy kind of like symbolizes the monsters and what he's become.
And I think what's quite nice is if it's in his suitcase, you kind of get the idea that this is literally the baggage that this adult is carrying around with him in his adult life, the baggage from when he was a child. And it's quite nicely symbolized by being a child's toy. Something to consider, this is quite clearly an American piece.
Yes.
But it's not, it shouldn't have to be an American piece, this one specifically. So there's certain Americanisms jumping out at me that I think can be made to can be put in a more South African mouth. Yeah. Mama's boy.
Yeah.
It's mommy's boy.
Mommy's boy, yeah.
In this country.
And then sack lunch, especially that one.
Yeah.
That one we just call a lunch, so we can actually
call it a packed lunch.
We don't call it a sack lunch.
Packed lunch is good. And also you have to make sure that you understand all the references. So for instance, Godzilla.
Godzilla is an American show, but I'm pretty sure
it's a Japanese cult horror about a T-Rex that goes around destroying cities. So you must go and research. Yeah. Oh, right. So it's oldies. Don't necessarily know. You must make sure that you understand every single reference in the piece. So if there's something like Godzilla, go and research it. Because the more knowledge you have about anything that's referred to in the text, the more that will inform your performing of it.
Also, sentences like "you got to be a monster." I think most South Africans will include the T, which is like usual. But then it also sounds wrong, and then you'll stumble over that sentence. You got to be a monster instead of you got to be a monster, which is what the Americans say. So that we would usually say you've got to be a monster. But
I mean, the other choice you could of course make would be to do the piece in an American accent. But then, firstly, you've got to make sure you nail the accent.
Yeah.
Because if it's a badly delivered accent, that's not going to count in your favor. But if it's necessary to do the piece in an accent, that's characterization like that can certainly count in your favor. So that is something to consider. The other part is the amount of characters you're playing. So here, this isn't multi-role playing. You just play one character delivering a piece.
Basically narrating and reflecting over his part.
Now, multi-role stuff, if you're the sort of actor that likes to transform and likes to characterize lots of different people, that can be really exciting for the judges to watch. So that is certainly something to consider. Look at choosing a piece with characterization, where you play different characters.
Then include your props, your makeup, all of those things to bring your thing to life.
Yeah, and we'll be taking a bigger look at how to film this all, and what you can bring, like makeup, lighting, costuming, all of that in a later video. But for now, I think we've got a piece that works. I can see you playing it.
I can see myself playing it.
This is a good thing, and the judges will definitely be seeing you play it. So keep watching, guys. Thanks for watching this time, and we'll see you at the next video. Cheers.
Bye.